Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher, and I'm the host of the LCSW Network. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channel, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of this channel is to create a community of hope and support where social workers can come together for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Okay, let's get to today's topic. First of all, I just want to give a standard disclaimer that I am not being compensated in any form or fashion by any government agencies, including the U.S. Army, Department of Defense, National Guard Bureau, or the California National Guard. And the opinions that are stated in this video are mine alone. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the many different pathways to serving as a social worker in the United States Army. I will do my best to cover all of the different pathways. The first pathway to serving as a social worker in the U.S. Army is that you will need to get a master's degree in social work from a graduate school that is accredited by the Council on Social Work Education. Check out one of my earlier videos about the CSWE to learn more about this important accreditation body. The second pathway to serving as a social worker in the U.S. Army is you will need to decide if you want to serve as a civilian or as a uniformed U.S. Army social worker. The U.S. Army needs both civilian and uniformed social workers to provide care for Army service members and their families. If you want to serve in the U.S. Army as a social worker, you have to be very honest about what types of experiences do you want to have and the time commitment that you want to make to the Army. If you're looking for a stable 40-hour-a-week job with good benefits and the opportunity to provide social work services to Army service members and their families on military bases, both around the country and around the world, you should consider serving as a civilian social worker for the Department of the Army. And you can find civilian Army social work jobs on USAJOBS.GOV. For those of you whom are adventurous, becoming a uniformed social worker may be the pathway for you. If you are ready to learn about land navigation, qualify on a small arms weapon like the M4 or the M17, or maybe you're interested in learning how to identify and avoid IEDs, learn how to march, learn about the basics of the profession of arms, and if you're interested in maintaining physical fitness standards, and excited about the prospect of living and working on different military bases around the country and around the world, you may want to consider serving as a uniformed social worker. So I've identified 4 major pathways to serving as a uniformed social worker. For the purposes of this video, I will only be covering the 3 major pathways. I will not be covering how to get into the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in this video. Perhaps in the future I'll make a special video just about that. But the 3 pathways that I will be covering in this video are ROTC, OCS, and Direct Commission. And to represent all 3 of these different pathways, I actually know 3 different Army social workers that have taken these 3 pathways. I know one of my battle buddies, his name is Dan, and he completed ROTC. Another battle buddy, who's an Army social worker, took a different route. He completed OCS, and his name is Mike. And then the third social worker that I know who came in as a direct commission social worker is myself, Tom. So I'm going to discuss all 3 of these pathways. So let's get to the first pathway, ROTC. ROTC is the Reserve Officers Training Corps. It is a group of college and university-based officer training programs for training commissioned officers of the U.S. Armed Forces. The Army Reserve Officer Training Corps program is the largest branch of ROTC, just as the Army is the largest branch of the military. There are over 30,000 ROTC cadets in 274 ROTC programs at major universities throughout the United States. These schools are categorized as military colleges, military junior colleges, and civilian colleges. Army ROTC provides the majority of the Army's officer corps. The remainder comes from West Point, Officer Candidate School, or direct commission. Again, I will not cover the pathway of going to West Point in this video, but it is another pathway, although a rare one, to becoming an Army uniformed social worker. So let's talk a little bit about ROTC. Army ROTC offers 2-year and 4-year scholarships to applicants who meet the following requirements: U.S. citizenship, holding a high school diploma or GED, being between the ages of 17 and 27, a college GPA of at least 2.5, and able to meet the Army physical fitness standards. So the applicant must agree to accept a commission and serve in the Army on active duty or in a reserve component such as U.S. Army Reserve or Army National Guard. The 4-year scholarship is for students who receive it out of high school or before entering college. The 4-year scholarship can be extended with the same conditions to a 5-year scholarship if the major is in engineering. The 2.5-year scholarship is available for students already enrolled in a college or university with 3 academic years remaining. Army ROTC applicants are selected for scholarships based on excelling in 3 areas: grades, 2.5 GPA or better, physical training or PT score of 60 in each category. Each of the categories are push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run, and participation in extracurricular activities in the program, community, or school. So here's a little question for you guys. Can you attend ROTC without scholarships? Absolutely. According to the Army's ROTC website, anyone can enroll in ROTC, and whether you receive a scholarship or not, all ROTC books, supplies, and equipment are furnished to ROTC students at no cost. So when cadets complete the ROTC course upon graduation, they become commissioned officers in the U.S. Army. After graduating as an ROTC commissioned officer, you will have a military obligation that could be fulfilled by selecting active duty, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. If you are an ROTC graduate with plans to become a uniformed Army social worker, you have additional pathways to choose. You can either go to a U.S. uniform school to get your MSW, such as the one run at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas, or you can go to any other CSWE accredited MSW program. As a social worker who came to the VA almost 17 years ago, and the Army National Guard almost 9 years ago, I can tell you definitively that you do not need to get your MSW from the U.S. Army or go to a private university such as USC and get a military social work MSW to serve in either the VA or the uniformed services as a U.S. Army social worker. For those of you between the ages of 19 and 32, I would like to talk to you about another pathway to becoming an Army social worker. This pathway is called OCS. Officer Candidate School is the U.S. Army's main training academy for prospective Army officers. The school is open to qualified non-commissioned officers as well as to civilians who hold a minimum of a bachelor's degree. Candidates who successfully complete the rigorous 12-week school receive formal commissions as U.S. Army officers and assume the ability to command soldiers. Hypothetically, one could go to OCS either before or after completing their MSW and getting their LCSW, but you will have to apply for OCS before you turn 33. The third major pathway to becoming a uniformed U.S. Army social worker is the direct commission route. I have personal knowledge of this route as I am a direct commissioned officer in the U.S. Army. A direct commissioned officer is a U.S. uniformed officer who has received an appointed commission without the typical prerequisites for achieving a commission, such as attending a 4-year service academy, a 2 or 4-year ROTC, or one of the OCS or OTS programs that I talked about earlier. Civilians who have special skills that are critical to sustaining military operations, supporting troops, health and scientific study, may receive a direct commission upon entering the service. The officers usually occupy leadership positions in law, science, medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, nurse corps, intelligence, supply, logistics, transportation, engineering, public affairs, chaplain corps, and the medical service corps. LCSWs are direct commissioned under the Medical Service Corps. The direct commissioning process does require a very thorough application, background check, and medical evaluation. And unlike ROTC and OCS, you can get an age waiver after you turn 42. On a personal note, I got my direct commission about 2 months after I turned 40, and I did not require an age waiver. There is one more pathway to becoming a uniformed Army social worker that I will mention, but I feel like it deserves its own video. This pathway is called the Army Social Work Internship Program, or SWIP. I will do a future video about this program. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground in today's video. Let me know your comments and thoughts in the comments below. I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I want to thank all of the social workers out there. Thank you for all that you do for your clients, your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.